I could wait, I was just wondering, I didn't need to be here for the first part.
Doing the tags.
All right, time is 6:30, I'll call this meeting to order. If you'd rise for the Pledge of Allegiance. I
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Item number 3 on our agenda is review of the agenda. Item number 4 is an action item for our consent agenda. Item number 5 is a proposal of impacted attendance dates and cause of reduction in attendance. Item number 6 is citizens' comments. Item 7 is an action item to approve or deny the ADA impacted attendance dates. Item 8 is board reports and policies. Item number 9 is an action item to approve or deny the changes and updates to the dual enrollment policy 3030. Item 10 is superintendent report. Item 11 is the adjournment of our regular scheduled board meeting. Item 12 is the executive session. Item 13 is adjournment from executive session. Item 14 is any actions pertaining to executive session. And item 15 is adjournment for the evening. Back to the top, we're at item number 4, which is our consent agenda.
Mr. Chairman.
Ms. Stewart.
I move that we approve consent agenda as presented.
It's properly moved and seconded to approve the consent agenda as presented. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. Motion passes unanimously. Item number 5 is a proposal of impacted attendance dates and cause of reduction in attendance presented by Dr. Croft.
The state allows us to, under special circumstances like widespread illnesses, things like that, snow days, Snowmageddon a few years ago, there were several days that were taken where you do an appeal to the state and say these, extenuating circumstances impact our attendance. Given the high number of flu and different illnesses that were going around, in the amount we had documented, we had a decent enough percentage. It was over 10% on some weeks. So we're able to put that together and do an appeal with the state. And part of that process is receiving board authorization to submit these to the state.
Pretty simple. Okay, Brian, any questions for Dr. Croft? Makes sense. Item number 6 is citizens' comments. Is there anyone who's here for citizens' comments? Excellent. So now we'll move forward. Item number 7 is an action item to approve or deny the ADA impacted attendance dates as presented by Dr. Croft.
Mr. Chairman.
Ms. Stewart.
I move that we approve the impacted attendance dates as presented by Dr. Croft.
Properly moved and seconded to approve the ADA impacted attendance dates as presented by Dr. Croft. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. The motion passes unanimously. On to item number 8 for board reports. Would be the second and final reading for the dual enrollment policy 3030 that has come before us several times before. Dr. Croft, anything else to present on that one?
No, just kind of same points we made before that ADA only follows a student. ADA is average daily attendance. That's of course how we receive the majority of our funding. That only follows a student if they're here for roughly 2 hours in a day. That's where the 2 periods come from. So anybody that wants to come over from another school program has to just take those 2 periods. Otherwise, let's say they come over for 1 period during the day, they're taking up seats in a class but we receive no funding. So that's kind of where this policy comes from, or the need of it.
I like it. I think it's a good idea.
Yeah.
And they don't have to be concurrent. It's anything in the day. Like they could have one in the morning, afternoon. They don't have to be abutted against each other.
Just curious, do we have a lot of issues with this now when people is taking one?
No, actually, we basically have looked at this and have been following something similar to this going into the school year, and many adjusted and sent it for 2 periods. Yeah.
Be nice to have it in policy that way. It's
Yes.
Absolutely.
We put it in handbooks, but we wanted it in a permanent policy.
I like it.
Good idea. question. Any comments from the PEA on that? They're good with everything?
They
No.
don't mind.
Yeah.
They're fine with it? Okay.
Excellent. All right, seeing that, we'll move to item E on section 8 for chairman's comments. There we go. Very excited for the ISBA thing coming up this week. Pretty excited to come see that. The executive board of the ISBA has recruited me to do some extracurricular activities while I'm there, so I'm pretty excited about that.
Cool. That's really cool.
I get told it's really not that cool, but it's really cool, so that's good. All right, there's all my comments. Also, by the way, I thank you very much, Mr. Taylor, for letting us see your amazing workout room, weight room.
Thanks for coming.
That is pretty amazing, and quite the difference of what it used to be.
Yeah, no, thank you guys for coming and looking at it.
No shades sent at Mr. Smith, by the way, Amanda.
No excuses.
I'm not paying attention. All right. Item number 9 is an action item to approve or deny the changes and updates to the dual enrollment policy 3030.
Mr. Chairman,
Ms. Stewart.
I move that we approve the changes and updates to the dual enrollment policy number 3030.
And properly moved and seconded to approve the changes and updates to dual enrollment policy 3030. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. Motion passes unanimously. On to item number 10 for the superintendent report. Dr. Croft, I'll turn the floor to you, sir.
Okay, we're going to start with primary.
So much has happened since we last met. We're focusing on character education and kindness for the month of November. We're taking part in a Fill the Bus food drive campaign to help fill local food banks and families are helped during the holiday season. So that's a whole district-wide campaign that Dr. Croft wanted us to get going. Are you going to talk about the heating and cooling thing? I don't want to take away your.
I was going to,
Okay.
don't steal my thunder.
Well, that's what I'm saying. I mean, it's a really big deal, so. Anyways, we had exceptionally high attendance at parent-teacher conferences. We hosted a Lights On After School event. Our PTO hosted another successful trunk or treat. They are going to do an autumn bazaar starting this Saturday. We are planning a Veterans Day assembly tomorrow. We've done Bus for the Bus safety programs. Some students were able to attend the Composer is Dead Symphony at the Treasure Valley Cultural Center. And, I mean, that's a lot.
Your donuts with dads, they seem to turn out have a really good turnout.
What's that?
The donuts with dads, the donuts with.
Yeah, it was probably the most attended Dads and Duke Donuts that we had, so yeah. There was a lot of sugar and testosterone in there. It was great. And we only have 7 more days to teach in the month of November, so it just feels, wow. Yeah, it feels very,
Going too fast.
it is, that's good.
I'm too old.
Well, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Well, what a month. I tell you, had a great event today. Barb was there today, showing by. Doc came by. The Honorable Shipley was in our building for both assemblies. Great Veterans Day assemblies. Gentleman that spoke, 96 years old, been in 3 different wars. Kind of hard to hear, but hope I'm alive that long to be able to speak that long. You know what I'm saying? So, again, great event. Besides my report, a couple things I'd like to mention. Number 1, we are filming the bus along with primary school as well, high school too, and I don't want to steal his thunder. I want to talk a little bit about fall sports. So we're really sticking hard to the 2.0, carrying 2.0, and not failing any core classes. Now, last quarter when we had a volleyball, we almost couldn't play one night because there were so many volleyball players that were ineligible to play. That's bad, right? But let me tell you this, and this is really pretty interesting. Over 50 students out for wrestling, and we only lost 3 student athletes to be ineligible. So it's working. It's all working. Intervention, the intentionality on grades, the teachers, the staff, the parents getting the teachers to school, it's all working. And in basketball, we only lost 2. Now we only have 20-some people, but 20-some girls right now. But still, 5 people out of 61 student athletes, we only lost 5 compared to this time last quarter. With volleyball, it's amazing. So everybody's doing a great job. Number 2, and if you want, I can get you a book just like this. This is our fundraiser. Now why I like this is because no money exchanges hands. It's all done via the internet. And right now we're up over $2,500 to the good. We get 40% of everything students sell comes back to the school. So right now we're up to, like I said, $2,500. And subject to your questions, that's all I have this evening.
Well, thank you for your service.
Oh, yes, it's my pleasure. Thank you.
Sometimes you gotta hype myself up to follow him with all that. Tell you what. Yeah.
All day.
No, he's the best. So, things are rolling at the high school as usual. We've got our Veterans Day Assembly tomorrow, which we're really thrilled about. Chris Higley is setting that up with our FCCLA, and she always does a very good job. We'll be serving the Veterans Breakfast first thing tomorrow morning in her new CTE culinary room. So we're really excited about that and how we navigate that with them. We just finished our PSATs for our sophomores and our senior project presentations, which are always awesome. They're so much fun, and you can kind of just see the breath of fresh air come out of the seniors and relievement of having one thing done and closer to graduation. And the really cool thing about a lot of those projects is the amount of service that they have for not only our school but for our community. So it's really cool to see what they bring to the table on that. It's always really funny because they're always so nervous, standing out in front of the doors, just shaking, and then they get in there and they absolutely rock it. So we are getting into winter sports. Girls basketball is going and practicing, and wrestling and boys basketball start this Friday. So we're already there. It's crazy how fast it's going, like Leslie said. One of the things that we're really trying to do is to continue just promoting positive vibes in the school. For whatever reason, the month of October is always kind of like a hump to get over. It's always kind of our biggest disciplinary month for whatever reason. I don't know if it's the full moon and then Halloween or however that works, but we're really steadfast on trying to get positive vibes going. We sent out a letter from myself to, I asked every teacher to include 2 to 4 students that are just doing really good things, and we compiled a list of about 84 kids. And I typed up a letter that we printed and I signed, and we're gonna hand that letter to the kids of just a kudos, basically. And then they can come down to Miss Hack and get a candy bar or something like that. Just small little things like that, but kind of get over that month of October thing. And then kind of lastly, like I said a couple of months ago, Miss Spellman has been working her tail off trying to get this organized. But on the 19th, next week, our leadership team is going to spend the entire day going to 3 to 4 different homeowners in the Payette area, and they're going to rake their leaves out of their front yard and put them on the street for our community. So we're really excited for that, just more avenues of service. So just going really well. I can't believe there's 7 days. That's a scary number. Yeah. Any questions?
So the wrestling team used to do that, are they not doing that anymore?
No, I didn't know that they used to do that
They used
actually,
to
and
do
somebody
that.
brought that up a couple of days ago, and I think that's phenomenal. I would love to get all of our winter sports. I'm very service oriented, and we'd like to be able to do that. But we were going to make it a whole school thing, but with the timing of Thanksgiving and the after October, it's very difficult to do that. So,
I think that's cool, you guys should look at doing that.
yeah.
I have a spider on the nameplate, that's all my problem. Do you see it?
Thank you guys so much.
Oh, I figured it out.
It's a Halloween decoration.
It's left over. It's left over. Oh, good job. I didn't win it. Oh, it's back. And he's mad. Sorry, Rick. Super sorry.
At the academy, we've been doing, tracking our attendance daily. We've been sending out our 3, 5, and 7 or more absence letters. We've been working with parent contacts, meeting with parents, getting the SRO involved as necessary, and our attendance has seen like a rise, like a trend upward since September. We did a school culture survey last week, and so the students and the staff all participated in the climate survey that would evaluate their perceptions of safety, belonging, and motivation. And then overall, the satisfaction rating at the beginning of the year is a 3.5 out of 5. So that was pretty high. I thought we were pretty impressed with those results, and they're gonna use those results to guide our improvement strategies throughout this year and increase our positivity in our climate, and our culture, and our building. Our middle school behavior program is going, it's exceeded all my expectations. The kids are loving it. They voted in their first class president. They met with their teachers and they kind of revised the tiered system that we're using, and they've made it so they wanted to add more availability of activities for level 2s and to increase the activity levels for number 3s also. And then they had, they wanted to have some more like non-negotiables that would like bring a kid back down to level 1, things that were going on that they weren't comfortable with, that they wanted to list as a non-negotiable. So I think that program is going awesome right now. We host the Friday school for our school district every Friday from 9 to 1. There's attendance-based interventions and academic catch-up sessions that are going on there that are reducing the missing work and the discipline referrals in our district. We had our potato feed fundraiser in our raffle, and that went better than I could have imagined. I was a ball of nerves that day. I was like, what if no one shows up? What are we gonna do? We have all this stuff. But there was great. The community really showed up, and they showed up in force, and they came in support, and we had kids that showed up to help that just showed up because they wanted to be there. And they did a really great job. They helped serve, they helped take out trashes, they helped clean tables. Anything that we asked of them, they showed up and did. We made about $4,000 for our very first year, which was amazing.
Wow.
So
That's awesome.
we can take a deep breath and not worry about caps and gowns and paying for our humanities class to go out in the community and do their events and everything that they do. And then we're also partnered up with the rest of the schools in the district to do the fill the bus. We do have some potatoes that we're going to haul over tomorrow to the Nazarene Church that had asked for some stuff immediately, so we're going to go ahead and get those over to them tomorrow that were left over from our potato feed that was donated. So we're going to work with them and try to fill a bus with canned goods and other items, and just also working towards like Kindness Week and participating in the Spirit Days for that. And kids have started to post each other, so they get a sticky note and they post something like kindness related about another student, and they can go and stick it to the student or stick it to the advisory room door. And so that's been a fun little project for the kids to have this week starting off.
Awesome.
Any questions? All right, thank you.
Hello, everybody. Nothing. Yes, these are my numbers.
There's a category for you.
There's a category, imperfect, error. This number is out of date because we just declared 2 more people eligible today. And so we are working on changing how we look at billing Medicaid and putting more eyes on it so we can try not let things slip through and bring in every penny that they're due. And that's our big thing. Our CPI training happened last Friday, and so I can honestly say that all of our admin and everyone who needs to be trained for CPI is trained, except for me. I don't know, things are going pretty well right now, so I'm gonna knock on some wood and just be happy.
I'm gonna knock on you. Go.
Killer.
Right? I didn't want to kill them, Barb.
Okay. First quarter of the year, as everyone said, is behind us. Our rhythm for teaching and learning is strong. Classrooms are focused, the routines are all in place, and teachers are applying the high-impact strategies that we've been introducing through professional development so far this year. For the first Friday in November, each building had held a building-specific professional development on the area of focus that they had towards those big 3 strategies we've been talking about this year. A common emphasis was aligning checks for understanding to those learning objectives so that staff have been able to practice those strategies and then are receiving follow-up support from their administrators. The fall IRI was pushed back this year by the state. Usually we complete that in the month of September, so that got bumped back to October this year because we changed assessment platforms. The state went from the iStation platform to what's called a mirror learning, and so we got through our first round of that. 3rd grade came in at 63% proficient, which was above their placement last fall, and it was within 2 points of where they ended in the spring. So that was a really strong correlation. It's sometimes scary when you're looking at completely changing assessments because it's apples to oranges a lot of times, but that was a really strong correlation, and accounting for summer loss made perfect sense there. So we're excited about that. We have our kindergarten through 2nd grade came in a little bit lower than last fall. Again, the assessment last year was given in September. We gave it this year in October. This assessment is a lot more technology heavy. It's an AI-based learning platform. So there was a learning curve there, and I think as we get into, we're going to do a 2nd round of that in December, just as a progress point, and then they'll do their official one in May. But I assume after they've gotten into it a 2nd time and been able to play around with it a little bit, that we'll start to see some higher results there. Those littles had a little bit harder time manning that kind of a heavy AI load as well. So all of our buildings are scheduled to complete their 2nd round of iReady assessment this month. So we will have updated iReady and growth information for you at the December board meeting, as well as more thorough analysis of our IRI results, since those are just finishing up on October 31st, but we had a few that had to take paper pencil. They verbally do a portion of the IRI assessment now, and so students who are nonverbal or who have speech challenges wind up taking a paper pencil portion of that test, so those scores get submitted a little bit later. So once we have all of that done, I'll give some more information about that. Average daily attendance across the district has increased 4.83% from the exact same date that we were looking at last year, which with our average daily membership sitting at 1,242, that's about 60 learners a day that are attending more regularly. So huge number of kiddos that are spending more time in their seats, which tremendously helpful on all accounts. So updated assessment data in December. Our district's progress is steady right now. We're very excited about where we're headed and the dedication of our teachers, our administrators, everyone in our school system is really phenomenal, and being able to see the changes that we've had over the last, I think it's my 4th year here, and we're headed in a really great direction. So very excited to see how all of our growth continues over the year. Thanks for all your hard work.
I just wanted to tell everybody about the class of 65 and their donation. Can I do that?
Yeah, in fact,
Why don't you do it?
okay. Okay, I'm going to start off with some really great news. We had a 2nd round. The state opened a 2nd round of cooperative funding. Those funds are specifically for districts that have safety issues. They have projects that go beyond what they can typically get in a supplemental levy or some, it goes beyond we get about $495,000 a year in our plant facility funds, and our HVAC needs that are critical right now go well past that. So that qualified us to apply. We applied for the 1st round and it had over $2 million approved, but we didn't include our HVAC in it. They opened a 2nd round and we called the state and said, can you apply twice? sure, there's nothing in the legislature that's against that. And so we put it in a second application. This HVAC, what it does is it covers primary, replaces their entire cooling tower, which is now over 30 years old and is dying slowly, and would become a real issue in the very near future. Also, putting air conditioning in the cafeteria and in the gym there. So all of that gets included. Now move over to the high school auditorium. You have a hallway, the auditorium itself, the 2 classrooms off of the auditorium, 3 classrooms off of that area, and then the library. All of that doesn't have AC and will, and had a heating system that was a dual unit, and one has completely gone down. It's limping on one from 1974 is the date on it, and the company that made it went out of business in the 90s. They don't make parts for it. I mean,
I feel like we were taking from the one that didn't work and rebuilding it.
we haven't. So we've kind of jerry-rigged every possible way to keep this machine going. I mean, yeah. So like I said before, picture an airplane with like one engine and it's barely running. So he could go out any time at the high school, so this came at a perfect time. But that replaces that entire system. Between these projects, they're just shy of $1 million in HVAC, but we got the whole thing approved. And so by the end of this upcoming summer, all of those will be replaced or new. Yeah, so that's, those are 30-year systems, so that puts our buildings, and those are the big projects that can take you down as a school district. Obviously, we have to have heat. So that's great news. Weight room that we, as a board, attended and had a chance to look at our new weight facilities before we came into the sports session. It's our old ag room, and so what I love about it is our students did the demo in the room. Our students laid those 100-pound rubber mats. We saved a lot of money by just getting some pallets of mats, and the kids laid them down. We had our football team wrestlers come over and lay those things, and they were very heavy. But yeah, they got to participate in some of the stages of the construction demo. Destruction. Yeah, they were more on the destruction other than the mat side. You don't want to do a construction. But the whole thing, what I believe is this is an opportunity for our athletic programs to have, and it touches all of our girls and boys programs, that now they have a facility to work in that they'll be proud of. And that's, we have a CrossFit area, we have all the different free weights and some of the Nautilus machines to work on. And so anyways, I think it'll really help with our conditioning, which is a big part of all of our athletic programs. It all starts in the off season. So having an inspiring place for our students to work out, and obviously, that's one of our focuses, that we want to see our athletic programs do better. We want to see our athletic programs break some of our traditional cycles and improve. So I think that goes a long ways towards that goal. Amanda Smith touched on our academic, some of the progress we're making there. All of our schools, I think we've had great conversations with teachers and principals about, we all work hard. There's no question that all of our teachers are working really hard, and for the most part, everyone is absolutely doing their best. Some of the ways we look at it is, what can we do given some of our academic needs to improve our literacy scores? We've talked about that in here some. So that is a major focus. At the end of the day, what is an educated person? When you say a person has an education, I think, there's math skills in there. I mean, I'm sorry, but I forgot most of my high school algebra. No offense to math teachers. But, I mean, so what transcends, unless you're going into like engineering or a STEM field, what really transcends your education? It's your critical thinking and really your ability to read and write. And so, if we really want to graduate educated students and put a proud Payette stamp on them, we got to do everything in our power to make sure we're graduating literate, critical thinkers. And so if we do that, then we have an educated, you know, those are our future, you know, doctors, lawyers, electricians, all the different trades. I mean, all of this comes from these generations that we're graduating. These are the people who voted in elections. You know, we have to have an educated population. And I don't care what career somebody goes into, whether it's skilled labor or something that needs more of a collegiate education. You got to read and write. You got to have to really make it in this world. You have to have a good or a high sense of literacy. And so that is a major focus in all of our programs. A lot of our interventions, a lot of the tooling we're doing with our education is everything in our power to increase that side of it. And I truly believe once you increase the literacy, the math, because so much of math is word problems, that they come together. And so we're still doing math interventions. We haven't just focused on literacy, but that is our major focus. And I think into the near future, that will be our intervention. Everything will be aimed at seeing what we can do to improve our reading and our writing. And last but not least, the class of 65 donated $1,500, right?
I'm not sure.
I think it's $1,500, if I remember correctly, to our CTE programs. So they got together and did a fundraiser, and so thank you, class of 65.
They did that during their class reunion.
Yeah.
Yeah, they had the auction for the cakes and, you know, the dessert option and did all that stuff over there.
And they're coming tomorrow to present the check.
Yeah.
So anyways, they're wonderful that they're thinking about us and helping our programs reach into the future like that. It's wonderful.
And the reason why I know this is because my dad was in 65 and he's going to be there tomorrow to present the check. So that's how come I knew about it.
Trying to do the math.
Yeah, my dad.
All right, thank you, Dr. Croft. That brings us to item number 11, which is the adjournment of our regular board meeting. So thank you all for being here.